Good morning, day 63. Is that right? Yeah, so today's plan is Wapiti Shelter, 14 miles, point change. There's a nice suspension bridge across a river. There's Dismal Falls, which I think is off trail a little bit, or more than a little bit. But we'll be going through the Dismal Creek area. A couple of road crossings. Trent's Grocery is off trail by about a quarter mile or half mile. All of these things, I'm not sure if they will be included in today's hike or just a side note as to what I'm not taking the side trails for, since it's a 14-mile day. If it were a 10-mile day, I might consider taking those side trails, but got a pretty good early start for me today. And as I'm always joking with myself, early just means before 9. Wonder how many thirsty hikers have used this as a water source. I don't know, it's right by a road. That means all the water that washes off the road goes into there with the motor oil and the asphalt residue. So we get about a 100-yard road walk here. So I'm taking my first break of the day. I felt like a blister or hot spot forming on my right foot in the place where they used to always form. And I used to always put duct tape on my feet. And ever since Franklin on this hike, which is a long time ago at this point, I have not needed to do the duct tape routine because of the liner socks I started wearing. But just today I started getting a hot spot like right next to the callus where that hot spot used to be, and haven't needed it since Franklin. So what's that, like 6 weeks ago? So hopefully that, I don't know what causes that. I'm wearing new shoes, but they're the same shoes. They're just not as broken in. So maybe, hopefully, once they get broken in, that hot spot will no longer continue to form. Something to keep an eye on for sure. Well, I probably spent way too long farting around at my break back there. But I've been back underway for, I don't know, 25 minutes at this point, 20. So 3 more miles or so to lunch. And the sameness, I mean a vivid green, and birds are still singing, but it's the sameness of these woods. No complaints, it's fast moving, smoothish and flattish for the most part. And then once I started walking on this blistered, now duct taped right foot, it's kind of feeling better. at the moment. I gotta say, having just stepped out of the woods into this meadow, or the outskirts of this meadow, the aromas have changed significantly. It's like a whole different panoply of scent-bearing flora than what we had in the woods. And right before I left the woods, I was noticing the scent of something that smelled a lot like cinnamon. I don't know what plant puts off a cinnamon-like aroma, but this is a rather kind of picturesque meadow of some kind. It's a little bit overgrown. It's a lot overgrown, really, but it's definitely not the woods anymore. And just like that, we're back in the woods. You can kind of see the doorway from the meadow behind me there. But yeah, we're back in the woods, and I can hear the road and what sounds like a river. So we are getting close to the road crossing. It's got some sway to it once you get walking. The river seems to be very still. I can't see any discernible current, but down there there's some rapids. Another motorcycle worthy set of turns and camber right there. I'm taking a break for lunch at the end of my second 4-mile leg. Right near a stream crossing, but the trail is lined densely with rhododendrons through this section. This campsite is a little clearing, you know, where you have to punch through the thicket of rhododendrons to come out in this little clearing, and it's a nice little campsite here. Got a fire ring and some logs and all the requisite things for a campsite, nice and flat. So I'm gonna eat my lunch and should have about 3 more hours after this, 6 more miles, maybe 7. Yeah, with a couple of exceptions, like climbing up out of a road crossing or the river crossing, creek crossing, today's hike has been extremely flat.
Well, I mean, like, we all have, like, 4 of them.